This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome to the C. Jane Sell podcast,
a relatable sales podcast for your weekly dose of sanity. I'm your host, Chelsea Dupre.
and I'm your host, Lee Nevis.
Welcome to yet another C. Jane Sell episode number 17.
Yeah, 17.
17 and crushing it.
Killing it.
Yes.
Woo!
So, thanks for everyone who has been listening. Welcome to anybody who is new to listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone pointed out this week that I say yeah too much, so I'm sorry if anyone's offended at me saying yeah. So I'm just going to say it more. So get over it. I'd like to be positive. At least I'm not saying no. You know what I mean?
Positivity,
That's
which
positivity.
actually leads me into...
Oh my gosh, wait. Okay, before you say this. So, before we recorded this episode, Chelsea texted me earlier and she was like, okay, I have some news I want to share with you. So I get here and I'm like, okay, what is it? And she's like, no, I'm going to share it with you on the pod so that she can get, like, my genuine reaction. So what you're hearing is me also. I'm hearing this for the first time, too.
Yeah.
So my reaction is actually genuine. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, over to you.
So, every Saturday, Adam and I go to this amazing place called Wild Eggs. And we sit at the bar, and we are served by the best servers in the country. Kelsey and Chris. Don't ask for them on Sundays between 9 and 11 because that's when I'm there, and I don't like to wait. So come before or after, people. Okay? Okay. Anyways, they're amazing. And Kelsey, who listens, thanks girl, she gave me a CD of The Secret. You know what The Secret is? It's a book. It's They have the movie and everything. And so I was listening to it, and one of the things is about wealth and money. And so I kind of laughed at it because there were some silly things. Like, she said she was in debt and all these things, and it was just weighing her down. And the more she thought about it, the more debt seemed to accumulate. So she made an idea. She was going to go to the mailbox, and she was going to pull out her bills. And every time she saw a bill, before she opened it, she was going to get herself in the right frame of mind. And like, this is a check. This is a check. This is a check. This is a check. I'm receiving all this money, and I'm open to receiving it, and this is going to be a check. And then when she was in that proper mind frame, she'd open it, and on a side piece of paper, she'd write down what was due, and then add a 0 at the end and say, this is the money that I'm going to be receiving. I'm like, okay, but sure, okay, all right, that's a little far-fetched,
right.
But I'm going to do it. Right. So I did it. So I'm listening, I'm driving home, I'm like, I can't wait to get the mail. I'm going to be freaking rich today, right? Positive vibes, positive attracts positive. So I get my mail, I'm like, here's a check, here's a check, here's a check, here's a check. I mean, one was from Kentucky Tax Services, one was from, like, insurance for your water, one was a coupon book, one was our LG&E bill, like, so I'm like, check. So I was like, I'm going to wait for Adam, and we'll open our mail together so I don't misplace something, which I've done.
Right, typical, for sure.
Yes. So he comes home, I'm like, babe, look at all the money we got today. And he's like, you're weird. He's like, okay, whatever. I'm like, no, but really. Check. And so he opens the things, and we get to the Kentucky Department of Revenue. And he's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be, I hope this isn't an audit. Like, oh, that'd suck. He's like, he started like panic mode.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I got you. I manifested a check. Like, it's going to be a check. And he's like, you're literally psychotic right now. And he's like, I don't know if it's a lack of sleep and how much you've been working, but you're crazy. And I was like, manifest. Anyways, he opens it, and it is an additional tax refund for $1,400. Girl! Manifest.
That's amazing.
I know. We already got our refund. It was an additional refund.
They just were like, hey, we made a mistake. Here's
Yeah.
more money.
Yeah.
Dang.
Right?
That never happens.
I know.
That's amazing.
I know.
I love that. Now I need to start doing that.
Manifest your money.
Okay, cool.
So, I've been listening to that, and it's been so great. So, I was also having a downer day the other day, and I was thinking about, okay, The Secret, having this, I don't want to be in that. And so, when she's talking on The Secret, she's saying stuff like, when you're down, try to think of something happy. Try to smile for a minute. And then the more positive thoughts you think, the more positive thoughts will come to you, and the happier you'll be, naturally.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll try that. Vice versa. The more negative, the more you dwell on things that make you angry or frustrated or sad or whatever. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you're going to be there.
Completely.
So, I was like, ugh, I just don't know why, but I just kind of got in like a funk. And so I went to Please and Thank You, got my favorite little, what is it called? It's a mint drink. I can't remember, but I love it.
Mint tea. The mint, whatever it is.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So good. So I got one of those, and then I went to Mahonia and just looked at their plants, and I just started thinking of all the happy thoughts. Swear to goodness, changed my day right around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's very powerful to just, because when you put out happy thoughts, you create like an energy.
And people want to be around that.
Completely. And not only other people, but like then you more so just want to stay in that, and you are like cool with just like living in your own little happy positive energy bubble.
Yeah.
And so I love that. I need to start manifesting now.
Manifest, girl. I'm telling. Okay, so I've just been on ever since I started listening to this, and I wish I wouldn't have waited so long, but it was in like CDs, and
Right.
I just didn't.
Who listens to CDs for sure?
I do now. Freaking love it. Like, best present. Thank you, Kelsey. Yeah, the
That's
best.
awesome.
So, it's just, I've been just happy every time I think about something. I think what I'm grateful for. Or writing down a list of things I'm grateful for. Or instead of being mad at somebody or thinking all the reasons why you don't like somebody, or say you're married, I'm telling you from everyone I know that I've talked to about marriage and everything like that, they say you just have to keep falling in love with each other and keep dating. And so writing down the things that you love about your husband. Obviously, you're only going to feel the good things unless you write down all the bad things and you see all the bad things. And so same thing with like work. Like, I'm grateful I have this job. I'm grateful I can afford my car. I'm grateful I have my house. I'm grateful for the way my feet look in these high heels because my ankles are freaking great today. I mean, that's so stupid, but just the littlest thing.
It's not. It's the smallest things, because whenever you think big picture, for me, I start thinking about all the things that I don't have and all the things that I've not accomplished yet. But then when you just start thinking about this, like the little things, those are the things that actually matter.
Yeah.
But also the things that don't really matter. So it kind of gives you a nice little like, okay, you know what? My skin's looking bomb today. My hair's all right. Sun is shining. It's gorgeous out. I can breathe. I can smell the flowers. It's amazing.
My water bill.
Paid my water bill. Paid that Riverlink check that I get every month because I keep going across that bridge without a Riverlink pass. But
Hey, you do you.
it's all right. It's just
Or I forgot to wear deodorant, but I didn't smell that.
that's huge.
That's huge.
That's that is an accomplishment.
I'm saying thank you.
I love it.
I don't know what's going on internally, but internal self, gracias.
You're killing it.
Killing it.
You do have a very positive like vibe and just like a really good like energy about you.
Thank
And
you.
I told you your skin's been looking
I know.
glowing lately.
I had a visitor come into town and wanted to mess up my hormones, but I told her, you stay right there, Val. I'll fix this up. So nothing a little...
For 5 seconds, I thought you were talking about an actual person. And I was like, who came into town that messed
Aunt
up your
Flo.
hormones? Yeah. Your period, Chelsea. It was your period. We
I
can
like
talk about
calling it like Aunt Flo, the Red Devil. I mean...
it. For sure. But also, like, Every human, every woman.
Every woman does it.
That's
I'm not
a period.
ashamed. I just like calling things nicknames.
No, I like that.
I like talking in code.
I like talking in code.
It's fine.
I usually say Ant Flow. I have the Clue app on my phone, and whenever it tracks your cycles. And so whenever I'm about to start, it always gives me a little text, and it says, hurricane's coming.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I always have a kind of a good idea when I'm either really moody or like real short with people. Like,
Yep.
Are you looking at me?
Oh man, I get
Did your eyes make contact? Are you breathing my air?
Yeah, and it gets worse the older you get, I'm telling you. I'm so calm, cool, and collected for
You really are.
27 days a month, and then there's like 3 or 4 days that I am like, I cry over everything. I'm so upset. Everything sucks.
Yeah. I'm
The
like,
world's
don't
against
talk to
me. So I know. I'm like, all right, you're about to happen in about 24 hours.
The only things that don't affect me are my dogs.
Oh,
And my grandparents. And my mom and my dad.
that's how my cats are. My cats don't affect me. They're the only things. They're constantly positive.
Poor Adam.
I know.
Bless him.
You know? It happens.
Bless him. But today, we can go into the positive and it can roll in, but we'd like to take a short break.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break and then we'll get back, and today we're gonna talk about
Sales.
we're gonna get back to our roots a little bit.
What is it? The anti-salesperson?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about being an anti-salesperson,
Yes.
and actually talk about sales for once. I know you've all been waiting for that.
The root.
So, we're gonna take a break, and we will be right back.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
And we're back.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much for taking that break with us. We knew it was hard on you. You probably waited a long time.
Yeah.
I know we did.
Yeah, it was torture.
It was a whole 10 seconds. So
Everybody needs a break.
everybody needs a break.
All I can say is if you're about to go to the gym, put in your headphones, turn up the pod, go on a walk, do your thing, get your favorite drink, sit down.
Ooh.
I don't know. You do you, but we're about to talk the talk.
Yeah, we're about to embark. We're about to embark.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. Okay, so the anti-salesperson. What this means to us is not being an actual salesy salesperson. The anti, the opposite, the reverse, the consultant, the friend, the person helping.
Completely. And a lot of times this is something that it's talked about, but I just don't think that it's explained correctly.
Yeah.
I think that it's really difficult to actually embrace being an anti-salesperson because you're still in sales. You hear it all the time. And people always try to tell you, like, oh, just be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. But I think
Who am I?
Exactly. Well, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Especially maybe you're just starting off in a new sales position. It's maybe a product you're unfamiliar with. Maybe, you know, a company that you're still getting acclimated to the culture. You don't really know who you are in that company yet. And so people are telling you to just be yourself. And you're like, yeah, but like I want to be able to sell this stuff. I want to be able to do this. So it's,
Yeah.
I think that it's much easier later in your career to tell someone like, oh, just be yourself. Because you kind of know who you are later in
You've
your
grown
sales.
into that.
Completely. But in the beginning, I think that it's much, at least easier for me to grasp telling someone about the anti-salesperson.
Word.
It is the you're not coming on crazy strong. You're coming at them from a friend angle, from a consultant. Yes.
That's like the key, is the consultant. I'm like, literally, this is the key, is you put them first. Mm-hmm. It's all about them. What can you do for them? Mm-hmm. How can you help them?
Completely.
What can you bring to the table for them? What's in it for me with them? What's in it for them? Like, how is what you're bringing to the table going to benefit this person?
Yep.
You know? I mean, in uniforms, I'm like, think of me as your uniform assistant. That you do not have to pay.
Exactly.
I will do all of the things for you, okay?
We both tried an accent, but I think it worked.
I think it worked great.
I think it totally worked.
In a past life, I'm pretty sure that was who I was.
Completely. But yeah, well, and when you come at it from a consultant angle, I think that people are much more open to listening to you and open to trusting you, because right now, with the way I think the sales world is, it's hard for people to trust salespeople.
Yeah.
Only because
You're driven by money.
They're driven by money, and because every sales tactic in the world has probably been tried on them already. And it's very, very difficult to get to someone when they've had 1,000 sales pitches thrown at them.
Which is why you have to be so different.
Completely. And a friend, rather than just like, you know, sending them an email like, hi, I have this product. Can I call you on the phone? Because think about it. Put yourself in their shoes and think about you running that company, or you heading up that, you know, industry or whatever they're doing. How would you respond to someone? What would get you to respond to an email? What would get you to actually take a phone call? Because when you're in your own head and you're like, okay, well, I know that this product is great, and I know that I'm awesome, and I'm a nice person, and I'm good at my job, and I know this is worth your time. How do you convey that to them without being pitchy?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times it's just kind of putting yourself in their shoes and think like, okay, like I probably wouldn't open an email that was 7 paragraphs long. You know, I would like
open and close.
Exactly. Or one that had some sort of like kitschy, weird title that I thought was really hokey and scammy. And we've talked about scammy email titles before on this podcast.
I'm pulling up something right now because I actually was in a phone book today, and I was sending emails and on the phone, and I was trying just a few different things and really just being honest, and how I just cutting to the chase and just, hey, one of them, my title was, I'm sorry, where should I begin? And in the email I said, hey, I just want to start by apologizing. I know I can be overzealous at times, and I've dropped off quite a few things and stopped in and left you numerous emails and voicemails, but I hate that I'm wasting your time. Who should I reach out to? They replied. That was great. Another one.
And it was short and sweet, and you're being honest, and you weren't being like super like
anything crazy.
Yeah.
Another one is just titled Stopped By, because I had dropped off my cookie cedar. It's a cookie with it's like my business card on a cookie, which is so cute.
Love it.
And I said, I hope you're doing well. I stopped by last week and left you a gift at the gate. I wanted to follow up and see if you had received it. My main reason for reaching out to you is regarding your program. I won't say the name. I am working with a few businesses downtown Louisville that were with that same vendor. Since a new vendor has bought the majority of your current vendor's customers, I have been working with these companies to help them save money and get better service amidst the transition. Can we discuss some options you might have and to save you money, blah, 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 blah. But the gist of it was, I had a with them. What's in it for you? I had an attention. Like, this has happened, and I know this has happened, and I want to know how it's affecting you, but how can I be of service?
Yes.
How can I save you money?
And you were specific, and you did your research. So they immediately knew, oh, this girl knows exactly what she's talking about. She probably actually can help me.
He emailed me back. After 4 different reps have tried to get in contact with him, he actually emailed me back. No one has been able to get in contact with him.
Yeah, I would respond to that email. If I was in charge of that, I'd be like, oh, snap, she actually knows, like, what's going on.
Yeah, and I didn't lie and say that this vendor had bought all of them. I said that they've bought partial. You know, I don't know if you were part of that or not. I don't know what the transition is like, but I've been able to help A, B, and C. And we've saved the money.
Yeah.
With them.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that was very anti-salesy.
And it was just keeping it real.
Keeping it real. Ooh. I love
real.
that phrase. I love that phrase.
I know, I say it a lot.
Being honest and direct, too, I think, is a really good way of being anti-salesy. I was told once, I don't remember, it was one of my old bosses said that one of his old bosses would tell him to call and leave companies, and he hated this, by the way, and he didn't do this, and he actually was, like, one of the top reps at the company that he worked for before. But his boss would tell him to call and say, hey, this is so-and-so with whatever, I have an offer that I think you would be really, really interested in and would love to hear your feedback. Please call me back. It's like, if someone said that to me, I would never in my life return their phone call because, A, you're a salesperson immediately, and that's, like, the worst phrasing you can say. Like, I have an offer that I think you'd be interested in. Like, no. First off, what are you going to sell me? Drugs? What are you doing? I don't, like, what do you mean you have an offer I'm interested in?
You're selling Lululemon for 40% off?
Like, okay, well, maybe I am interested. But he wasn't keeping it real, and he was being very elusive and...
Yeah, I think there's this thing we call a mom's message of mystery.
Well, that's completely different,
though.
Because that's, and we've talked about this on the pod before, but that's calling being like, hey, I have a quick question, give me a call back. Short, to the point, the end. You're not trying to, like...
Don't set yourself up for hurdles to overcome, but
Correct.
Don't be, like, weird AF either.
Exactly. Exactly. And that voicemail that he was leaving is setting you up for hurdles in the future. Because then you have to, like, okay, well, what's the offer? You don't even know what I'm paying right now for my service. How do you know it's an offer that's going to be competitive? Like... You don't know you're acting. You're essentially telling them you don't know what you're talking about when you do that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And you're not keeping it real.
No.
Absolutely not.
Girl, no. Which is also part of, like, the follow-up process in sales is it takes so many follow-ups before you actually get where you're going. Like, I don't know all the statistics. Like, off the top of my head, I can look them up and Google them and do all of the things. But I know you typically don't see results until your 6th follow-up.
Yeah. Oh, it's a very large number.
Yeah. 6 to 10 is when you'll start to see things. It's very rare. Like, by statistics, I don't know if it's like 10%, 20% at call 3, like that. And you can find it. You can look it up. But it's persistence and how you're doing it. Be different. Get on LinkedIn, message them, email them, stop in, phone call, email, stop by. Phone call, email, stop by. Phone call, email, stop by.
Yeah, the power is in the follow-up. And I hate that phrase. Why did I just say it? I sound like a salesperson.
But that's actually so accurate.
But it is. But maybe if I took I feel like we need to come up with a different phrase of, like, money's in the follow-up or whatever. Like, we need to figure out a different phrase that makes it sound a little bit more exciting and positive.
Follow-up pays the path. Nope.
Follow-up pays the funds.
Follow-up follows that money. That's stupid.
But you tried it, and I'm proud of you.
Thanks. Actually, I really liked it. But...
Yeah. Well, I think, too, following up, a lot of times it shows the other person that you are very interested in working with them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, a lot of salespeople have to hit numbers. They have to hit touch point goals. And sometimes you don't know if you are putting yourself in, like, the other person's shoes, the decision maker's shoes. They don't know if you are just trying to hit your numbers by reaching out to them, or if you actually want to reach out to them and actually offer them something that they could use.
Right.
So I think a lot of times when you are following up and you are consistent, it shows them, oh, hey, okay, they've reached out to me this many times. Maybe I should hear them out finally, even if they don't even know if you're going to be of benefit to them.
Right.
So I think it's really powerful to keep on talking to them, keep on reaching out, and keep on following up. And do it in a time, like a very time-sensitive manner. You know, don't follow up, like, on a Monday, the 1st, and then don't call again till, you know, Thursday the 27th. You know, like...
This is what I try to do. I have all my accounts broken down into size. Mm-hmm. And then you can go even deeper into when their contracts are coming up for renewal. But I have A's, B's, and then C's and D's. And my A's, I'm trying to touch every 3 months. Like, constantly, every 3 months. And if their agreement's coming due, you can bet it's once a month. Mm-hmm. Which is aggressive, I get that, but it works for me. Mm-hmm. My B's, I'm trying to touch between every 3 to 6 months. And again, with their contracts coming up for renewal, it's going to be more. And my C's and D's, it's typically every year, just because there's so many of them in my territory. So that's what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to be different every time I do it. I'm trying to come up with creative ways that really show who I am. Like, my love language is gift giving and like words of affirmation. Like, that's how I express myself. Mm-hmm. And that's how I also, what I utilize in my sales process is I listen to people. Mm-hmm. I actually listen to them and what they like. And if they have a dog named Cheeto that loves peanut butter treats, guess what? That's going to be one of my follow-ups. Like, I know you don't want any uniforms, but I know Cheeto likes these, so here you go. And people like that. They like that you actually care. Mm-hmm. And so that's just one of those things. You have to be... And the other thing is, these people have so many people calling on them all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Ugh.
Depending on what you're in, it could be... like, there's a lot of... MLMs. Sorry, I hope that doesn't offend anybody, but there's a lot of MLMs out there. However you want to look at them, I think they're great. I think you can make a lot of money.
Completely.
They're wonderful. But there's a lot of them, so you got to think of all the different types that are calling on these women. Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot of businesses. There's uniforms, there's trash, there's water, there's TV, there's internet, there's all of the things, and even things that you don't even think about.
Oh my gosh.
Calling on these people.
Yep.
So who do you think they're going to remember? It's probably who's there at the right time at the right place. But you can be there at the right time, at the right place, with something memorable in hand and put yourself in the best situation. Mm-hmm. You can't play ball if you don't know where the game is.
That's right. You really can't.
You can't.
If you don't know where the game is, like, how can you play?
You can't. I mean, I'm not much of a ball player, but metaphorically speaking.
Yeah. Have you ever received, like, a negative reaction or a negative... I don't know if I would call it feedback, but I guess a negative reaction from a little, like, gift that you've dropped off?
Yes.
How did you deal with that? What was it, and how did you deal with it?
Okay, well, it was for MSD. It's okay, this is...
Call them out.
Listen up, buddies. I took them a honey ham for Christmas. Because how can you forget a girl bringing a ham in?
I know.
I mean, for real.
In your defense, I've seen people do this before. I don't think that's, like,
it's not that
ridiculous.
Weird.
I don't think it's weird at all.
But I got a letter stating that I am not to do that any longer because that could be considered a form of bribery. So,
bringing them a gift?
Yeah. So she's like, we had to share it with the office. Like, I just wanted you to know, blah, blah, blah. I was like, sorry.
What?
Yeah.
That's I've never heard a company call out, like, reach out to someone and say, don't send us gifts. I know people who, like, are in a sales world who their offices say, like, you can't give gifts above this amount of money, or then it's considered bribery. But I've never had the receiver reach out to the gifter.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I know.
Well, they're weird.
I know.
I don't know anybody there, so I can just say that's
Which,
weird.
Here's another little tidbit, like, where we'll branch off a little bit. I actually bid on that, and I did not get it. And it broke my heart. It was going to put me so much closer to my goal. But I've been working on a lot of things lately, and one of those is you win some and you lose some, but you can't stay down. So when you don't get something that you're expecting, things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
Yep.
Who knows? Maybe they would have taken a lot of my time, and they didn't have, like, their pricing was low. It was NJPA. No one knows what I'm talking about, so it's just, like, words I'm throwing at people, but whatever.
Right.
So it was what it was, but maybe that leaves the door and the time open for me that I can call on maybe a more profitable customer, or I can call on more people, or I don't know, but I'm just putting, like,
maybe
the faith out there that this actually happened only to benefit me.
Completely.
And 10,000 feet up in the air, and maybe the person that they chose, they'll be calling me soon enough.
Well, either A, they'll be calling you, or B, maybe the account, again, like, it probably just wasn't worth your time, because what if you stumble upon another huge account very soon?
Exactly.
And you wouldn't have time, and you might have, like, messed up this.
Dropped the ball on something.
Because you were dealing with because their account, honestly, only know about uniforms just from you telling me, and I feel like MSD would be
it'd be a lot of work.
Most ridiculous. It's Metro sewage.
Yeah.
So in case you're wondering, like, what on earth, it's
your water bill, by the way, could be like $20, and your sewer bill is like $300.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Gosh. Whatever.
Can I just side note? Sometimes I get a water bill, and sometimes I don't. I think they don't know what they're doing. I'll get a water bill once, and then I won't get another one for 4 months. And I'm like, do you not? Okay. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
It's random. You're supposed to get a water bill every month, right?
I believe so.
And they're not very good at it. But I've never worked in, a logistic, operational standpoint, so,
whatever.
Who am I to talk?
Whatever.
But,
I mean, and one day I hope I'm able to earn their business and we can work together, but for right now and for my sanity and my mental health, I know this happened for a reason, and I'm confident that they made the best decision for them. Mm-hmm. And like I said, everything happens for you, not to you.
Yep.
So if you're going on a goal and you're trying to get somewhere and you fall shy, just know that it's not your purpose to know the full picture right now.
Oh my gosh.
You have to...
Completely.
There's other things going on in the universe and in your life, and it's setting you up for what you need to be set up for.
I love that. I think that that's very applicable to a lot of different life experiences that people are going through. I mean, think about, like, the worst breakup you've ever been through. When you're in the moment, you actually think that your entire world is ending, and you don't know what to do, and you just want to jump off a cliff, and, like, you think that you'll never love again, you're not worthy of anything. And that's, like, really how you feel. Like, not being dramatic. Like, you just really, really are like, there's nothing that can make me... It's devastating. And then 2 years down the road, you look back and you're like, wow, I was so sad about that. Like, so many other amazing things have come. So I think it's also taking into the fact that you don't know the future, and this is not how you're going to feel for forever.
You're not going to want to know the future, honestly.
Oh my gosh, I know. That's terrifying.
It really would.
Yeah. So.
Not a superpower I want.
Yep. And just, like, learning things.
Absolutely.
And I think that hard times like that, and especially, like, really, like, accounts that you really like, stuff that you put your all into and then it doesn't work out, you learn more about yourself and how you react to things than anything.
Well, and you learn how to overcome certain objections. Like, an objection, and we were actually talking about this in the office today, was how many times do you use this, let me talk with my spouse? It is, like, the best sidestep. Oh, sounds great. Let me talk to my spouse. Or if you're in a business, this, well, I need to talk to the owner, I need to talk to so-and-so, but you could confirm the things that they do like about it. You know, that's one really good way to say, but you do like this, and this is what you're looking for, correct? It's not always going to win you the business, but it does definitely help. Or if you get turned down, you got a no. Well, what about this is preventing you from moving forward? Help me understand. They've already said no. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
They give you a second chance?
Exactly. Or help you for another customer or client that you might have in the future.
Exactly.
So that way you might not be thinking about something that they know from their side of the industry.
Yeah.
That you just you haven't even thought about.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, we can't wear this color because a lot of people that work in this industry actually are colorblind. It's like, oh, I didn't know that,
Okay, fine.
I don't know. Statistically, 7% of our workers are colorblind. I don't know. That was a really bad example, but I was, like, trying really hard.
You really tried hard, which I give you an A for.
Thank you.
So, a hats off to you, mate.
Thanks. Thanks so much.
Yes. So, along with follow-up, I'm trying to structure because we have a tendency to
We veer off our path, but
ramble.
We do.
Yes. But one of the things is when you're in crunch mode, this is like everything we've talked about, follow up, being different, owning who you are and applying that to your process and putting out good vibes. This is something that I'm looking back now thinking like, oh my gosh, I made a list my first year. The first year I made it to President's Club and was runner-up of the entire company. I had a list of accounts that I wanted to sell. I sold every single account on that list.
Girl, are you for real?
Yes. You want to know why?
That's incredible.
I know. It was because my intentions were what they were. I was purely focused on these accounts. My intentions were, I'm going to close this, I'm going to sell this, I'm going to do this. And then I said, I'm done. It's done. I've done it. Before it happened, I accepted that it was done, and I had done it, and I've done the things. And I just expected it.
I love that.
So I look back at that now, I'm like, oh my gosh. I did that. I just, it's just where you're putting your focus.
Yep. I think that that's such a good mentality to have, and especially in times that you have like goals you gotta hit, stuff you gotta do, is to just not even stress about it. Just say it out loud. Like, no, I'm gonna do this, the end, and don't stress about it. Don't put like negative energy into it. Just stay, no, this is what I'm gonna do, and you will do it.
You will, because the more you put your focus into like, oh my gosh, this is the deadline, oh my gosh, I've got to overcome this hurdle, oh, am I this, blah, am I good enough, can I do this, are you doubting yourself? Guess what, all of those things are going to build on each other, and then what are you doing? Nothing good. But if you're like, I'm going to get this account's closing with me, I close this account, I'm going, I want to hear, I'm closing this, and I did close this even before it happened. That's what I'm telling myself, and I'm only focusing on that. And I'm focusing on them. I'm making them my priority. My customer is always my priority. Whatever is best for the customer, then for the company, and then for me. And if you can have all of those go in line, typically you're going to be pretty well taken care of.
I love it.
So, when you're going into crunch time, I'm into crunch time right now. So, I am happily and lovingly and wonderfully working super hard.
Good.
And I know it's going to pay off, and I'm going to qualify for President's Club, and I'm picturing myself out on that beach right now, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and you're going to be there. You are going. You're going. I don't even care.
Yeah, I'm going to pick out my swimsuit.
Yeah, you're going.
And I'm going to hang up my swimsuit, and it's going to be called my Bahamas Atlantis swimsuit, and it's going to be freaking cute.
Freaking cute.
Freaking cute, and I want to put it on my wall so I can see it every day.
Do you know where you're getting it from?
I don't yet. Maybe Cupshe?
You should look at Cannonball Swimwear. You should reward yourself with a really cute... Have you seen their stuff?
No.
It's local. It's a girl that lives like down the street from me. She hand makes them. They're insane. They're absolutely... Little small shout out, Cannonball Swimwear. They're on Instagram. Their stuff is so flattering for every single body type, and they fit so good. And
okay, done.
I'm obsessed
looking
with
it
them.
up.
My red one, that's one of theirs, and it is such high quality. It's gonna last me for the rest of my life.
I love that.
They're amazing. Anyways,
no, that's great.
I think you should look there because that's gonna be your P Club swimsuit.
That's my P Club swimsuit, and I'm making it. I've made it. I've sold the accounts. I have my list. And the other thing is, like, if you really care about being their consultant and you care about the customer, you really actually start to care about the customer. And you care about them as a person.
Yeah, and not just fake, not just, like, pretending. Like you actually genuinely want the best for them.
Yeah. I know a lot about my customers, like, personal lives because I've genuinely developed a relationship with them. Why do you think I know there's a dog named Cheeto that loves peanut butter treats? I mean, most dogs like peanut butter, but still.
Yeah.
Whatever. But when it comes down to crunch mode, set a goal for yourself. Like, one of the goals I have is I am not going home until I have X amount of cold calls. You're not putting your computer away until you've done X amount of emails. Or I'm putting a system in place where I have every day that I go and do all my cold calls, I'm going to put all my cold call business cards. I'm going to put in my cold call baggie. And then the next day, I'll send an email, a follow-up email. And then the next week, I'm going to call them. And then I'll put that into, like, okay, this is going to be, I'll schedule in my notes that I'm following up with this account in whatever date. But it takes organization and actual caring and just knowing that you can freaking do it. Nobody can do it but you. Once you have as much faith in yourself as you need to, girl, you're unstoppable.
Completely unstoppable.
Unreal unstoppable.
Gosh. And it's like you hear that so much. Like, once you are right with you, once you have realized that you can do it, but like, it genuinely is so powerful and so calming to realize that you actually have the power to do whatever you want and to reach whatever goal you want.
Remember what you said to me like earlier this year when I had so much going on? Like, there was like one thing after another, after another, after another. And you said, Chelsea, you're freaking Olivia Pope and your job is to fix it.
Yes! That's what I said.
So I tell myself, I'm like, I'm effing Olivia Pope and I fix things. And I tell that to myself, and now I've changed it to, I'm freaking Chelsea Dupre, and I fix things. Like, there is not a thing I can't fix.
Completely.
And if you have to walk away from it, there's your solution.
That's your solution. Yes. Oh. Wow.
I mean, I'm just saying.
That's so powerful.
It's a Thursday, y'all.
It's
not a Thursday, but you're going to hear this on a Thursday.
Yeah. I was like, wait, is it? I was like, I have to work tonight. Where am I?
You're like, I'm in trouble.
Like, yeah. I love that. Well, I think that's a good little wrap-up note.
Yeah. So.
You are you, and you have the power to fix whatever is coming your way in your life.
Just have a little faith.
You got it.
Have a little faith in yourself.
You got it.
Yeah. That was great.
Ooh, well, in the pod on this, guess what I'm doing on Friday?
Hit me.
I have my first official branding meeting for my new company that I'm starting.
And we just dropped the bomb on y'all.
I'm so excited. So, for those of you who are not in the loop, I have been trying to remain super low on the radar and not talk about this on social media or anything, but I'm starting my own company. And I made this decision maybe like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and I've just been quietly working away and trying to figure out... Grinding, figuring out my LLC, like figuring out exactly what I want to do, how I want to provide this, what I want to... whatever. So I finally hired a creative team, and our first meeting is Friday, and it's like the freaking rubber hits the road on Friday, you guys. So,
rubber hits the road.
So
I love that.
Stay tuned. Because once this happens, we're ready, and I think that it'll maybe be ready to launch in like August, September-ish. So I'll tease a little bit more, and then once I have more stuff out,
I'll be the model. Okay.
Yes, okay.
This is huge. This podcast is about sales. It's about entrepreneurs. It's about being your best you. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of things that we want to talk about, and it just feels so right. So
it feels so
thanks
right.
for tagging along. And there's things that we are working on. We're getting better at sound. We're getting better at production. We're getting better at all of these things.
We're trying our best.
We're just doing what we can, and we're great at it.
Yay.
And we have some events that we're trying to put together that'll be coming maybe in the fall.
So stay tuned for those. We're really stoked about those.
Yeah, but you're going to see the inside perspective from an entrepreneur's wife, an entrepreneur herself, and a sales lady.
Yeah.
A sales gal.
A sales gal.
From Wyoming.
Yeah. But really, I think that sales made me realize that I had this power in me. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though I think that sales is what sparked my love for the business world.
Yeah.
And even though I am not technically in sales, I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, like, you do all the stuff.
When you're a business owner, you have to be in sales.
Completely. You have to be. But I think that it sparked something in me that I knew I had to do this. And so I'm so grateful for my time that I had working as an actual rep and account executive. And I think that it's totally okay if you know that sales is where you need to start to figure out what you want. I think that's totally okay. Yeah. And if you know that you thrive in it, stay with it. And if you don't think you thrive in it, it's okay to figure something else out. And that's kind of what I've done. And I'm very grateful that now this whole pod kind of encompasses everything. So it's going to help a lot more people, and we're stoked. I'm stoked. Chelsea's stoked. Everybody's stoked.
So stoked.
Her dogs are stoked. My cats are stoked.
Our body.
The world.
The world is stoked. We have a lot to bring. Buckle up.
Yes.
I need to come up with a new phrase. I'm sick of buckle up.
I like buckle up, though.
I know, it's fun.
It makes me think about getting on a roller coaster, which really excites me.
Makes me think of the Route 66 song. If you've ever planned to travel west. No? Okay. Get your kicks on Route 66.
Oh no, I
okay.
knew where you were going. I just wanted you to continue. Oh my gosh. Yay.
So weird.
Well, make sure to maybe give us a rating. Maybe
That'd be great.
Give us a review.
That would be even better. I know we want to do some giveaways, y'all.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
a photo shoot with Amanda Graves. That's pretty huge.
We need to figure that
Some
out. We need to figure
swag.
out like a contest to
Yeah.
do that because Amanda was gracious enough to offer that. So we need to. So we'll do that. That's our commitment to you. We will figure out a contest for that.
Yep.
And we'll do some really other fun little giveaway things to people that listen to us and support us because we love you and we're grateful for you.
Yeah. And we're just on this journey and we're glad that you're with us.
Yeah, amazing.
So
Cool.
like, rate, subscribe.
Do it all. And follow us on Instagram. Okay, thanks. Bye.